In the middle of that room 107, sir. $89 plus tax. And can I have a driver license also, please? Do you have any dogs with you?
No. Why?
Too hot?
Yeah, it's like 79 degrees.
I'll switch that off. Too hot for me too.
Can I have a cell phone number, please?
706 359 4537.
Thank you.
Hello people on Facebook, YouTube, and my website. It's the Blaxcotsman. Today is National Tartan Day. And when I woke up this morning, I asked Alexa, what are the holidays today? And by coincidence, it's National Tartan Day. So I thought, what better day than today to sing a few Scottish songs and test my new setup. Of course, hi Daphne.
What's the date?
6.
Of course, now the broadcast working, but the share options on Facebook have disappeared. So now I can't share it anywhere on Facebook. other than my homepage. So it's kind of, if it's not one thing, it's another. So here you go. I'm trying to share it, and that's what's bugging things up right now. I just can't share it to anybody. So I apologize. But look, come on my Facebook page, on my YouTube page, on my website, theblackscotsman.com, and that way you'll be able to tune in and give me your 2 cents worth, as it were, so to speak, about the quality of the recording, both in terms of recording quality and in terms of what you think about the songs and the singing and all that. Okay, so here we go. It's the Black Scotsman, of course, and just getting things tuned in here. Hey Donovan, happy National Tartan Day.
Happy National what?
Tartan Day. Tartan, do you know what a tartan is? That's a tartan.
Oh.
Here you call it a plaid.
Oh.
But plaid is a generic name, a tartan is a specific thing. So we're going to do a few Scottish songs, and hopefully we won't overload the microphone. And if you feel like sharing this, please go ahead and share. I was trying to share it to howdy Joseph, perfect. I'm trying to share it to Meadowlark Motel, but Facebook isn't giving me that option today. You know, if it's not one thing, it's the other. Yesterday I couldn't broadcast. Today I can broadcast, but I just can't share. So, yeah. If you're watching and you can share this video, please share it to appropriate groups. Joseph, for instance, could share it to Meadowlark Motel and things like that. Anyway, I'm going to get started because the whole point was to not get caught up in tech things, and here I am caught up in a tech thing. So I've got a little set of songs together, and we're going to play a little game, which is this. Every song I do, if you're watching and you want to play this game with me, see if you can find out the tartan associated with the song. For instance, the first song is called Macpherson's Lament, you see? So obviously the tartan to look for there is Macpherson, and then you can post it as a message. Alright, so once you've found Macpherson's tartan, you can post it and say, here's Macpherson dress, Macpherson this, that, and the next thing. And meanwhile, I'll sing the song. So this is called Macpherson's Lament from me, the Black Scotsman, at the Meadowlark Motel in Maggie Valley, sunny Maggie Valley, North Carolina. And happy National Tartan Day to everybody all over the world. Here we go, Macpherson's Lament. Farewell, ye dungeons dark and strong. Farewell, farewell to thee. Macpherson's time will no be long below the gallows tree. Oh, what is death but parting breath? Or money's the bloody prey. I've seen his face, and in this place I scorn him yet again. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dauntingly, yea, he played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dauntingly, yea, he played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. I've lived a life of grief and strife, I died by treachery, but it breaks my heart that I must part and ne'er avenged be. 'Twas by a woman's treacherous hand that I was condemned yesterday. Upon the ledge of a window she stood, and the blanket she threw o'er me. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dancingly, did he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dancingly, did he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Untie these bands, free off my hands, and give to me my sword. 'Cause there's not a man in all of Scotland but can brave him at his word. So some come here to see me hang, and some to buy my fiddle. But before the time you part with her, and let her through the middle. Aye! Say rantingly, say wantonly, say dancingly, did he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dancingly, did he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. So farewell strife and sunshine bright, and all beneath the sky. May coward shame disdain the name of the wretch that dare not die. The reprieve was coming, or the brigabands, to set Macpherson free. But they put the clock a quarter before, and they tied him to a tree. And they hung him on a they hung him to a tree. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dancingly, did he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Say dancingly, say wantonly, say dancingly, did he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. The gallows tree. Macpherson's Lament, did you find the tartan yet? We're celebrating National Tartan Day here, let's see. You doing requests, pal? Yeah, let's. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing. That's great. Hey, on Tartan Day we're doing requests, but it has to be a Scottish song because it's National Tartan Day. So it's the Blaxcotsman here. I'm in the Mackenzie tartan right here, and I'm wearing the green for the Irish because, you know, we Scots are not the only ones with tartan. The Irish also have tartan. We'll be doing a couple of Irish songs later on. Here's a tartan as well, but we'll go over that later. Right now we're going to keep going with the Scottish songs. How's it? Green Grow, definitely. How's the sound? We're doing something different with the sound, so feel free to critique the sound without getting too snarky, you know. Anyway, happy Tartan Day, and we're going to keep going. The next one will obviously be, missing out an obvious one, but this is the tartan will be the Burns. Or it could be the Wallace tartan, but the point is, find the tartan and post it as a message. Alison, Sarah, Carol, hello. Happy Easter to everybody, happy spring, and happy National Tartan Day. Okay, so we're going to do Scots Wa here, another great Scots song, talks about William Wallace. So there's the Wallace tartan, and of course Robert Burns, who wrote it. So this is Scots Wa Hey. Scots Wa Hey, where Wallace bled, Scots Wham Bruce has after led. Welcome to your gory bed, or to victory. Now's the day and now's the hour, see the front of battle bower, and see approach a proud Edward's power, chains and slavery. Scots Wa Hey.
a knave, and what will fill a coward's grave? Bossy bases be a slave, let him turn and flee. And for Scotland's king and law, freedom's sword will strongly draw. A free man stand, a free man fall, let him follow me. Scots, fly, Scots, by oppressions, woes and pains, by your sons in servile chains, we will drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free. And blame the proud usurper flow, tyrants fall in every foe, liberties in every blow, let us do our deed. Scots, hey, 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 hey. Scots, hey, 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 hey. Scots, hey. Scots, hey, that's everybody, because every Scot has a Scottish heritage, and that's saying a lot, right? So happy Tartan Day, National Tartan Day here in America, April the 6th. I was informed, because when I'm waking up in the morning, I say to Alexa, Alexa, what holidays are there today? And this morning she said, it's National Tartan Day. Happy National Tartan Day, Mike. So, if you've got Alexa, that's a nice way to stay in touch. So I decided there and then, because I've been wanting to do a tech test on my new setup. Perfect. National Tartan Day. We'll celebrate Easter. We celebrate the Scottish national dress. National Tartan, and we'll sing a bunch of Scottish songs. So that last one there was Happy Easter, Alison. Where's the tartans? Come on, people. We're looking for tartans here online. Nobody's posted a single tartan. You realise it's National Tartan Day, right? So well, let's see those tartans. This next one, see, we've had Macpherson, we've had Wallace, we've had Burns. We're going to have Burns again now. And this one here speaks specifically about his tartan. Now he calls it his plaidie, which is the generic name for tartan in general, as a design, a style. But specifically tartans are those plaids that are associated with some kind of clan and have been officially, designated tartan. So that's what we are that's the direction we're going in with these songs and saying, get this tartan up, We've had Macpherson, there's a tartan, the Wallace clan, Scots Wahey, with Wallace bled, and Robert Burns, of course. And here we're going to have Burns again. And he speaks specifically in this next song about protecting somebody with his kilt. He refers to it as his plaidie. So it's a song that I put the chords to. He wrote it probably when he was about 18 or 19 years old. And just so you know, when I do these songs, I kind of play around with the music, but the pronunciation and the words and everything, I do try to keep as faithful to the original as possible, so that there is a streak of authenticity to this, even though I'm adapting them with my own style of music. So this is an example of that. This is called "O Wert Thou in the Cold Blast." Nowhere down in the cold blast. On young Dundee, my platy to the angry gales, and shelter me. All did misfortunes and bitter storms around the block, my beard should be my bosom, shade all. Scottish reggae music, 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 Scottish reggae. Daughter in the wildest waste, said black and bare, the desert where paradise. If thou were there, or with a monarch, all the globe, with thee to reign, the brightest jewel in my crown, would be my queen, and Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae music, playing Scottish reggae music, Scottish reggae. In the morning I got porridge, oh the good Scots porridge. Everybody eat oatmeal in my day. And in the west it was porridge, I put salt on mine. Oh, the good Scots porridge every day. Okay. Yeah. Nowhere down in the cold blast. Nowhere down in the cold blast. On yonder lea, playing Scottish reggae. Music, Scottish reggae, music, Scottish reggae, music, Scottish reggae. When you're in the cold blast, oh, the Scottish reggae. When you're in the cold blast, hey, Scottish reggae. When you're in the cold blast. Like that, you see? When you're in the cold blast, play some Scottish reggae and you get your plaidie and you get your best love next to you and everything's fine. Just like that. Robert Burns there, of course, writing the words, and the Blaxcotsman, which is yours truly, Mike Ogletree, providing some very simple, very basic musical accompaniment, 2 chords. You might have noticed that. You say, oh yeah, it was boring as hell. Anyway, Alison, any tartan for Carol? You know, I think there is a Carol tartan. The Carol is, I don't know if it's Carol or like your name spelled Alison. It's 2 R's and 2 L's. But I'm pretty sure there's a Carol tartan, because I think Carol is like it might be German, but I'm not sure. But I think it's a Charles, I think is what Carol is. Come the derivative of. Anyway, we're going to keep going with the Scottish stuff. There's your tartans. Do that. do that with your Alexa. Just say, what's the holidays today? So yeah, we're going to, that was of course Robert Burns there, as we celebrate. Now one of the things that Robert Burns did, which he did for Scotland really, because what he did produced a lot of really valuable and memorable music. Auld Lang Syne being just one of those. But he was a collector of rare and forgotten Scottish song fragments and pieces and songs that were, I guess you would call it street music, folk music. But he collected these and he used to, clean them up and change the melodies and try and improve them so that they could be included in a project that he was working on for a publisher in Edinburgh. And the project was the Scottish Museum. Not a museum as a place, but a museum as a collection of works. And all these works were previously unpublished Scottish song and word. And out of that, as I said before, came such memorable songs as Auld Lang Syne and many, many more. Because he wasn't the only one to contribute to it, but he was perhaps the most famous one to contribute. Anyway, this was one of those songs. It's about a lady called Helen Irving, who lived in a place called Kirkconnell on, in western Scotland, southwestern Scotland, and very famous legend about her. And this next song is the story, the tragic story of Helen Irving as it was collected and refined by Robert Burns. It's called Where Helen Lies. Oh, that I wear where Helen lies, night and day, on me she climbs. Oh, that I wear where Helen lies, until Kirkconnell leaves. Oh, Helen fair, beyond compare, nothing but of thy flowing hair. I'll wear it still, forever near, until the day I deem. Cursed be the hand that shot the shot, and cursed the gun that gave the crack into my arms. But Helen laughed and died for the sake of me. And on where Helen lies, where Helen lies. Oh, think not ye, but my heart was fair. My love fell down and spake no more. There did she swoon, where meikle care, until Kirkconnell Lee, and I lighted down my sword did draw. I cutted him in pieces small. I cutted him in pieces small. To Kirkconnelly, oh, Helen chased the were modest. If I were with thee, I were blessed. Where thou lies low and takes thy rest. To Kirkconnelly. I wish my grave was growing green, a winding sheet I put over my knee, and I in Helen's arms lying till Kirkconnelly. I wish I were where Helen lies, night and day on me she cries. Oh, that I were where Helen lies, until Kirkconnelly. Oh, that I were where Helen lies, until Kirkconnelly. They're beautiful. Where Helen went now. They're Helen Irving. So the tartan to look up for that one, obviously, is the Irving tartan. Now, I believe that she had another name. Well, here we've got a few names here. First of all, they were in Kirkconnell, which it's kind of southwestern Scotland, not quite on the coast, just inland a bit. It's near the border, and Helen Irving of Kirkconnell. So you've got the Irving tartan, and her lover was called Adam Fleming. So Fleming tartan. Now, of course, everybody knows the Fleming name because of penicillin. Now, just as a coincidence, Kilmore's, which is where Adam Fleming was born, it's just about 10 miles from where I was born. Not Adam Fleming, what's his name? The guy that invented penicillin, Fleming. But anyway, Adam Fleming, we digress, was the lover of Helen Irving. So there's the Fleming tartan, and that's it. So Fleming and Irving. Let's see if we're getting any tartans here. Anybody? All right. All right. Looks like we might have gotten some connectivity issues there, but hopefully get back soon. Sometimes it's in and out. So, happy National Tartan Day from the Blaxcotsman at the Meadowlark Motel here in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. It's a gorgeous day. This is probably going to be one of our last indoor concerts. We'll move out to the pavilion again. I'd like to do another Robert Burns song for you now. This one, of course, a love song, which he's very famous for. We used to do this one as a study of the romantic poets at school in Scotland. It's called My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like a melody that sweetly played in June. Let's feel out the... Let me try it. Just that's where it's vibing on this. Oh my, so just trying to find a nice key. Oh my love is like a red, red rose, is new strong. Try it a little bit higher than that. Now we'll sing it. Come hell or high water, we'll sing it. Try and be professional. Anybody? Oh, that's not so bad. Nobody's watching, so. So we're going to do this. It's now up 2 steps on the keyboard, which means I think is one whole tone. Anyway, this is Robert Burns's My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like a melody that sweetly played in June. As feet are burned, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, until the seas get dry. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. Red, red rose, till all the seas can dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. Oh, I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well abide, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. Fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well abide, and I will love thee still, my dear, though it were 10,000 miles, and I will come again, my dear, though it were 10,000 miles. Yes, my love is like a red, red rose. Actually, my love was like a wood nymph, a little wood nymph. That's an in-joke between my love and myself. Happy Tartan Day to everybody who might be watching. Let's see. An Irish one, yeah. Definitely be doing an Irish. Ian Fleming. And then there's Ian Fleming, of course, the writer, the James Bond guy. All right, so let's continue with more Burns. So, one of the things, aside from tartan and haggis and nothing, one of the things that Scotland is famous for is its scenery, its landscapes, its countryside, and in particular the rivers of Scotland are famous for fishing, but also the beauty. And this next song was written by Robert Burns, celebrating the beauty of one of the rivers in his neighbourhood, the River Doon. And it's a famous song because it's a really beautiful part of the country, and he really captures the mood of walking by with something on your mind, which is what he did, and it's what a lot of people would do back in the days before cell phones and the internet and all other kinds of synthetic entertainment. They'd have to go out and make their own. And one of the things that was considered entertainment and relaxing was going for a walk and just enjoying the scenery and nature. And Burns did that a lot because he lived in one of the most beautiful parts of the world, obviously Scotland, and he composed a lot of his poems whilst walking by rivers and things like this. So no surprise that he wrote a song about his local river, a beautiful river called the River Doon. It's called The Banks of Doon. The banks and bridges of bonny Doon are kind and blue, so fresh and fair, our kindly chimes, their little birds, and I say we full care. Thou break my heart, thou warbling bird, that wanders through the flowering thorn, and minds may own departed joy, departed never to return, never to return. I rode in bonny Doon to see the rose and woodbine twine, and in covered sang with love and fondness said our mine. The lights and hearts are the rose too sweet upon its thorny tree. My mother's lover, he told my rose when I left the thorn with me. improvised that ending there, but it's a beautiful song. So now we're going to keep in the Burns vein, and if you're following along with Let's Find the Tartan, well, there you go. Easy, just it's Burns. So let's see here. Let's do this now. And we'll spend the second half of the show on this camera. Alright, so here's perhaps one of Burns' greatest social commentary poems. It's called Is There for Honest Poverty, and I'm going to call it Honest Poverty. Is there for honest poverty that hangs his heat and all that? The coward slave passing by, but dare be poor for all that. For all that, and all that, the toils obscure and all that. The blank is but for dinner stand, the man's the goat for all that. For though on him the fair will dine, we're hot and grey and all that, he fools their silks and aids their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, their tinsel show and all that. Honest man, no answer poor, is king of men for all that. You see yon Berkey called our Lord, for struts and stairs and all that. Though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a goof for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon star and all that. The pistols and independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. The power of man is the strength of a woman, and beside every man who's a great woman. A prince can mac, a belted knight, a marquis, a duke, and all that. An honest man's a bloom his might, good faith he not of all that. For all that and all that, their dignities and all that, pistol sense and pride was and higher rank and all that. Now let us praise that's coming me, that's coming will for all that. That sense and worth for all the earth shall bear the be for all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that. The man to man, the world over shall brothers be, and to man the world over shall brothers be for all that. The power of man is the strength of a woman, and the side of man is a great woman. And the power of man is the strength of a woman, and the side of man is a great woman. The band is but a beauty stand, we are the gold for our past. The rank is but a beauty stand, we are the gold for all that. The rank is but a beauty stand, we are the gold for all that. The rank is but a beauty stand, we are the gold for all that. Yes. So you got it? The rank is but the guinea stamp. We are the gold for all that. So, you have any doubt about that message, you can always send me a message. But that's the message of that song. And of course it's Robert Burns. So here we are. Let's see what's happening here. So we transition to this. I think it might be. Let me just check that. It might be transitioning back and forth here. An Irish one. Somebody wants an Irish one. Tell you what, we'll do an Irish one. Because, yeah, the Irish, of course, have their tartans. And so therefore, it being National Tartan Day, let's not leave out the Irish. And make sure that we're including everybody in our celebration. I think if you go over to Africa, there are certain places in Africa, notorious places, because Idi Amin, famous, notorious African tribal leader who became king and eventually went a little bit power crazy and killed a lot of his own people. But he had a fascination with Scotland, and he had his own Scottish pipe band, and they all wore kilts. So I'm sure they had their own tartan over there for that. It's just one of those things that tartan is ubiquitous. It's everywhere because of whiskey and the popularity of people like Robert Burns and Sean Connery, rest in peace Sean, and lots of other things. Just the pageantry of Scottish culture is quite spectacular. So, and similarly, Irish people have their celebration, not so much about the tartan, but definitely Irish culture is celebrated all over the world, and they do have their tartans. So we're going to celebrate on this day, National Tartan Day. I'm going to celebrate Irish tartans with an Irish song, and this is called Whiskey in the Jar. As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, I met Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then produced my rapier. I said, stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver. Ushering down a do-da-da, back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money, and it was a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket, and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me. The devil took that woman and he never made it easy. Mushering down a do-da-da, back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in my jar. I went into my chamber, all for to take my slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and it really is no wonder. The Jenny, she took my pistol, and she filled it up with water, and then sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. And mushering down do da back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in that jar. So early in the morning, before I rose for travel, Up jumps a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, for my rapier she had stolen. I couldn't shoot with water, so a prisoner I was taken. Mushering dum-a-do-dum-a-da, whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in my jar. So if anyone can help me, 'tis my brother in the army. If I can reach his station in Cork or in Killarney, and if he will go with me, we'll go quarrelling in Kilkenny, and I'm sure he'll treat me better than that sly deceiving Jenny. Oh, mushering, dum-a-do-dum-a-da, back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, mushering, dum-a-do-dum-a-da, back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. And there's some take delight in the cottages that open, and others take delight in the hurling and the bowling, but I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair ladies in the morning bright and early. Mushering dum-a-do-dum-a-da, back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in that jar. Mushering dum-a-do-dum-a-da, back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Of course, famous Irish song, Whiskey in the Jar, made famous by the Dubliners, made famous by Thin Lizzy, made famous by Metallica, and on and on and on. Yeah, I did an Irish one for you, Daphne. Okay, here's a Scottish one, and it's one of my favourite contemporary Scottish songs, and it's by Dougie MacLean on National Tartan Day. Look up MacLean Tartan, definitely a tartan. Anyway, this is the Blaxcotsman, aka Mike Ogletree, and we're broadcasting live streaming from the mountains of North Carolina, which is my home at the moment. And this is Maggie Valley, and we're in the Meadowlark Motel, a beautiful beautiful residence here, where you can come and get a motel room, and we're getting the pool fixed up because the summer's coming. It's just a gorgeous spot. I mean, fantasy Scotland is what I call it. Anyway, this is another song about Scotland again, and this is contemporary, written by Dougie MacLean, so you're looking for your MacLean tartan, and it's all about Scotland, and it's a kind of romantic look at Scotland, a longing for Scotland, and he called it Caledonia, which is the old Roman name for Scotland, and it's very famous, very beautiful. I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me. These last few days I've been afraid that I might drift away. So I've been telling old stories, singing songs, do that again, right? Oh, because this is a great song, I don't want to mess it up. Start from the top, right? I don't know, maybe you can see the changes that have come over me. These last few days I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories and singing songs that make me think about where I came from. That's the reason why I sing so far away today. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling, and I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Yes, I have moved and I keep on moving. I've proved the points that I needed proving. I've lost the friends that I needed losing, and found others on the way. I have tried and I'll keep on trying. I've stolen dreams, oh there's no denying. I've travelled hard, my conscience flying somewhere with the wind. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling, and I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, it would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you're everything I've ever had. Yes, oh yeah. Caledonia. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest fire, the flames that couldn't get any higher. They've withered now, they're gone. And I'm steady thinking my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow when hands have shaken and the kisses flowed. I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling, and I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, it would make me more than sad. Caledonia, you're everything I've ever had. Yes, oh yeah. Caledonia, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Like that, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. As I said, a romantic look at Scotland there from the superbly talented Dougie MacLean. And here for my friend Paul Craddock now, by special request. I'd like to do another Robert Burns song. And it's one of Paul's favourites. It's called Green Grow the... Just dropped it. Green Grow the Rashes. Oh, look. It stayed over in the front camera. Everybody okay on here online? You can never tell with this network here. Sorry if you're having trouble online, folks. Anyway, I'll keep going. This next one is from my friend in Ireland there, Paul Craddock, who's originally from the Midlands of England. And he fell in love with a lady from Ireland and moved out there to be with her. So this is for Paul. It's called Green Grow the Rashes All. Doesn't outbid care on every hand. In every hour that passes, oh, what signifies the life of man? And 24, the lasses roll. So let's do that again. You watching, Paul? Let's see if we can anybody's get this thing on my lips. Just making sure that Facebook is, because Facebook appears to be frozen on my end. Of course, it might not be frozen on your end. So we'll do that. So this is Robert Burns's Green Grow the Rashes O. Not to be confused with Green Grow the Rushes. This is Green Grow the Rashes O. Does now but care on every hand, in every hour that passes, oh, what signifies the life of man? And 24, the lasses roll. Green grow the rashes on, green grow the rashes on, the sweetest hours that I spend among the lasses on. The bubbly race made riches chase, and riches made me fly them all. And though at last they catch them fast, their hearts could never enjoy them all. But give me a canny hour at the end, my arms about my dearie go, and while they cares and while they men, they all get up shall see they go. Green grow the brushes on, green grow the brushes on, the sweetest hours that ever I spend among the lasses all. You seduce yet sneer at us, yet loud and senseless answers, oh, the wisest man the world ever saw, you deal alone the lasses, oh. All nature swears the lovely years, the noblest work she classes on, her prentice hand for tried on man, and then she made the lasses, oh. Yes, sir. Grow the brushes on, green grow the brushes on, the sweetest hours that ever I spend among the lasses on. Hey now, green grow the brushes on, green grow the brushes on, the sweetest hours that ever I spend among the lasses on. Sweetest stars that ever I spend among the lasses, oh, the lasses, oh. Green grow them rushes, which, if you've ever been down by any river where there are rushes growing and the water is nice and calm, it's gorgeous. It's just a beautiful thing. So here's another Scotch-Irish mashup. So it's song famous in Ireland and Scotland, and we sing it at springtime as a welcome to summer. It's called Wild Mountain Time. Where you go, I say go. Go, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and wild and we go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the purple heaven. Will we go? I say go. I will build my lungs a bower by yon clear crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. There you go, lassie. And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme all around the purple heaven. There you go, I see. If my true love she were gone, I would surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Where you go, I see. And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Where we go, I say. Where you go, I say. Just like that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Good stuff, Mikey. All right then. So thanks a lot. I hope you had an enjoyable National Tartan Day. Going to end off with, as I said before, perhaps the most famous Scottish song that isn't known for being a Scottish song, Auld Lang Syne. I say it isn't known and most famous because this song gets sung and played all over the world for lots and lots of different years, besides the New Year's song. And most of the people that play it and sing along don't know its origins. But it is a Scottish song, and as I said before, it was discovered and put together by Robert Burns. And I just like to sing it now as a folk song, as a farewell song, in two of its versions, because the version that Burns originally put the words and music together for is not the one that eventually became most popular. So I'd like to do both versions for you. And this is Auld Lang Syne. And hey, happy National Tartan Day. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And we'll be back on Sunday, weather and internet and sun motes permitting. And it's the Blaxcotsman here, Mike Ogletree, of course, at the Meadowlark Motel in Maggie Valley in western North Carolina, where it is a beautiful, sunny afternoon. Enjoy the rest of, the rest of spring. I hope it's a good one. Sign. Choose I'll build mine, and we'll take a cup of kindness, yet the road side for old lang syne, and Joe for old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness, yet the old lang. The brace and put the gowans fine. We've wandered money and we've foot, said old lang syne. We paddled in the bun from morning sun till day, but seas between us, red old, said old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness, yet for old lang syne. Now there's a hand my trusted feel, and he's a hand of thine, and we'll take a recht good woolly walk for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness, yes, for old lang syne. One more. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness, yes, for old lang syne. Thank you very much for tuning in and being part of our National Tartan Day celebration in this Easter week as we sail into spring in the mountains of North Carolina. See you next week, Sunday. Come in for a little fireside concert. Bye, folks.